Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Corey and this is my channel, Get Sharp, where you, the audience, help me build this sharpening business. We're gonna cover two things today. You don't wanna click away yet. Listen, first and foremost, we're gonna talk about the knives that just came in. They are a couple of the most unique knives I've ever seen. Gonna be a bit of a challenge. And number two, let's talk about the recent poll I put up on YouTube. I gave you all a decision for the direction of this business, 3 options to choose on what kind of equipment we buy next. So those are the 2 things we're gonna do today. First and foremost, I got a Cleon knife. Look at that thing. That is a wicked knife. So this is a Shun collaboration with Ken Onion. Unfortunately, I don't know who Ken Onion is, but if I had to guess, he's a cook and he's good at chopping onions. Just saying, Ken Onion. So he, I presume, gave his input on this design. And if I had to guess, Ken Onion probably doesn't do much sharpening, because I don't see a world where a sharpener puts a bolster that hangs an entire inch over the heel of the blade. Look at that thing. So you already know I like to put a 16-degree edge on the Shun, because that's what they have on the Shun website, 16 degrees. Well, it's impossible. If I do that, I'm gonna ruin my client's beautiful steel bevel here. The closest I could technically do 17, but I'm worried, like, I don't know if for sure I can do 17. After I grind down a little bit, there's barely any room. So I told my client I'm comfortable at 18. He's comfortable with 18, so we're gonna do 18 on CBN. I don't wanna take this thing on the grinder. I have no experience with this shape of a blade over here on the 1x30. However, I have sharpened a bunch of blades like this over here, so I know what to expect. So I got this bad boy centered up, and yeah, let's go ahead and get set up here. And while I'm getting set up, we'll talk a little bit about the most recent poll and why I chose the items I did. So if you're new to this show, the direction this channel's going, you, the audience, are going to influence, or I guess better word would be dictate, how we invest the money from this business. So I am not taking any money out of the business. Every penny's gonna go back into it, get reinvested. The ultimate goal is the world's sharpest knife. To make that happen, we need better equipment, right? So you guys, I've learned in the last couple months doing YouTube, y'all have way more knowledge than I do when it comes to sharpening. So why not use you guys to help me get there, right? And what I'm thinking, what I learned after the last poll, I think what we're gonna do, every vote is gonna count for 1, but every comment is gonna count for 2 votes. Because those comments add a lot of value, for me at least. I'm learning why everybody's making the decisions they are. So I think that's what we do on the next one. And on the current one, we had 3 options. The first was a jewelry polishing wheel that would allow all kinds of different attachments, so you can buff out or refinish the face of blades. I thought it was a service that we could add on top of our existing services. So I could say like, hey, I sharpen knives. This knife's gonna cost you 10 bucks. There's a ton of scratches. Would you like it to look close to new again for an extra 5 bucks? Sure, yeah, boom. Now we got another source of revenue. The second option was a Tormek Blackstone CBN, or I'm sorry, not CBN. If it was CBN, I would have already bought it. Silicon carbide. Very hard material. However, 96. It requires regular maintenance. So unlike my electroplated CVN wheels here, I'd have to true it, I'd have to dress it. But that's one nice thing is you get one wheel, could be 400 grit, could be 1,000 grit, depending on how you dress it. These CVN wheels, electroplated, it is what it is. I'm super concerned these electroplated wheels aren't going to last. But one of my good friends, Doug, you know who you are. I forget his YouTube handle, but he was saying that wood turners electroplated wheels have a lifetime guarantee. And I looked into that because when I heard that, I was like, oh my God, I wish I would have done that. I would have bought theirs. But listen, they do not, the warranty is voided on super steel. So the second you grind a Shun with it, no warranty. They're only guaranteeing it on certain types of steel. I think it was speed steel specifically. So anyhow, that got me thinking, what are these wheels? Do they have any kind of, I don't even remember really diving into those details. What was their marketing pitch? These guys have a pretty aggressive language when it comes to their marketing. Longest lasting, any concerns or any descaling call for replacement. My wife is an Amazon seller, so I was like, hey, I'm pretty sure I've already experienced descaling because it's not nearly as aggressive as it was. Oh, they also said sharpens 1,000 edges. I've probably sharpened, how many knives? I don't know, 10 knives, 20 knives on it. But each knife has 2 edges? No. One. I don't know how that would hold up in court. But anyways, let's say worst case 40. I've done 40 edges. So I was like, hey, it's not nearly as aggressive as it was in the beginning. She couldn't even find a way to contact them. She's like, oh, Corey, it's a Chinese company. You know, I can give you the name and maybe you can find it. Not happening. Anyhow, that's what's going on in today's world, in my world. And if you guys have ideas, I think this idea for the business, dude, if there was a business that I could vote and help determine the future, oh, I'd tune into that. That's why I came up with it. I was just thinking, there's so many people doing sharpening, and the sharpening, it's interesting, right? But when it's just back and forth, switch the wheel, leather wheel, stropping, dude, you guys are gonna get burnt out after a couple hours of that, and then maybe never tune in again. I was like, how could I be different? What can I do that I've never seen? I have to keep doing sharpening because it's a business now. I have to keep running it, but I want to keep doing YouTube. What can I do? What would I watch? And then it hit me. I was like, dude, I could get the audience, because another thing is right now YouTube's really leaning into audience engagement. So if you want to grow a channel, you need that comment section to get engaged. And when people are talking there, they're gonna put your show in front of more people. And I was like, dude, I can solve all of those if I trust the audience to make decisions on the business. And I was also thinking, I could go as far as being so transparent that they can see the bank account. But then I was about to do a post to show the bank account. And I was like, man, I'm opening myself up for some trouble if I'm saying where I bank. Yeah, I work at a bank. If somehow the account got taken over, I would look like such an idiot. Anyhow, so that's not happening. But yeah, so what I'm gonna do I'm just gonna, on my website, I'm gonna make a page that just says financials. And you guys can go on there and I'll just upload generic financials, like a profit and loss statement. And yeah, so you guys can see if someone's curious and they wanna see how much business we have coming in, where the money's coming from, what we're spending it on, they can go look. And then, yeah, I would love to have some engagement around like, what are we investing our money in? I'm not taking money out of the company. We're growing this business at least for the next 12 months, at least for the next 6 months. I say 12, but we just got to see how things go. But I was thinking, I was waiting for someone to jump in and say, hey, probably a good time to buy the Blackstone because the United States has a 40% tariff against Switzerland. And if you haven't noticed, you can't even buy a custom T8 right now. And a custom T8 is a T8 tournament system with no attachments, no jigs, no wheels, just the base, sold out. Why? Someone other than me got wise and said, I'm gonna go buy up Sharpening Supplies inventory because it's in the States, it's not been tariffed yet, and I can pretty much guarantee myself a 20% profit on those because they'll be able to sell it for 20% more while Tormic's forced to increase 40%. You see where I'm going? So is that gonna happen to all Tormic products? Are all Tormic products gonna increase 40% in the next couple months? So is that black wheel not the best investment I could make? We've got the CVN wheel, so we don't technically even need it, but we don't know how long these things are gonna friggin' last. So you kind of see where my head's at with that, right? The Rikon bench grinder, I think that's the way to go. And I saw someone say, well, you can burn your blades. Sure, I can burn my blades on the 1x30, but guess what? I don't. I'm slow, I'm methodical, I'm cooling, like, I'm not burning the blades, trust me. There's no way. In the Rikon bench grinder, I can put, holds 8-inch wheels. So I can do 8-inch CBN wheels. I can do 8-inch felt, rock hard felt wheels. I can do 8-inch paper wheels. I can do 8-inch radial dental discs. Like there's a whole world I could do with that. And it really does do both what the jewelry polisher does and what what it does on its own. So I see a good argument. My top two is the black wheel because of the tariffs and the Rikon bench grinder. Also, another note, God, I hope I'm not ranting too much and like people are clicking away like, what is this guy doing? But this is what it is, guys. Just being myself, I guess. What was I gonna friggin' say? I lost my train of thought. Okay, let's take a look at putting a nice clean edge on this. You know, I'm gonna put some thick tape on the bolster just to be safe. What is going on with my cell phone? Man, I had something good to say too. It was either funny, clever, or genius. One of the three. Very interesting knife. Like, I wouldn't mind owning it because it's just so unique. But the damn bolster, man. I'm not a fan of that. Okay. Who's blowing up my phone? Oh, great. It's always fun when you have a friend that goes in the hospital and you say what happened and they tell you. And they say, I broke my femur, and you say, oh, you should drink some more milk. It was a joke, and then they send you a picture of it when you're not expecting it. So yeah, you know, just a couple days ago, this YouTube channel was Sharpening and me chatting about business from time to time, but the shift of the channel into this show, essentially it's a show where the audience, you, dictate the next business move. Man, can I even produce something like that? You know, like I might be out of my league a little bit, but you know what? Let's try it. Let's see what happens. I'll do my best. I've got a bunch of smart guys in the, if y'all, like, if this is a cool idea, please let me know in the comments. Like, I need feedback. I need to know if I should just keep going back and forth, sharpening blades. I'll do that. Prefer not to. I would like to, I've always wanted to try YouTube, but not only try it, but to succeed at it. And yeah, I think this is kind of my ticket. I've never seen anyone do this, especially on YouTube. Something like this. And yeah, through those polls, maybe once or twice a week, y'all are voting on something. And that's what we're doing. You know, making decisions that can't be made right away. Decisions that take time to make. You guys are part of that. Day to day, I need to get a new part and it's $3. I'm just gonna buy it, right? Like, but yeah, let's try it. Let's do it. Let's try it for 30 days and see what happens. All right. I am, after this blade, after these two blades, he's got a little brother too. I don't think I showed that off. These two blades, I do them perfect. I think I've earned my Shun Master certificate. Would be cool though if Shun had like a certified Shun sharpener, you know? Like I prove I understand the core concepts of sharpening and dealing with VG10 or VG Max. And then I get certified. Put that on my website. Websites, I don't even know if they matter anymore. Like, I think most people are using YouTube and social media to vet businesses these days. I would say YouTube channels is more important than the website. All right, task one. Mark's Ken Onion, Shun Ken Onion, or Ken Onion Shun meets electroplated CBN wheel from Amazon. Let's see how we're sliding first. So, quick side note here. If you guys use these Tormix, you know from time to time these can get a little sticky. You don't want the sticky when you're using a CBN wheel. I am not going to detail why, but if you're a sharpener, you already know why. I like to use dry lube in the form of graphite. Maybe I should have sharpened the little guy first. No, the bigger guy. The little blade is just, you know, less room for any kind of an error. Of course, I'm not planning to make one, but if you're human, shit happens. So let's see if that's sliding any better. Feels all right, it's just not white where I want it to be. And I know you can put oil on it. I don't like messing around with oil. I don't like oil. I oil the blades when they're clean and done and leaving the shop. But that's it. Let's go ahead and give it a run. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna check. I just realized. So I had to check the bolster earlier. I was using the Japanese stone because that's what I had on here. This stone's bigger. Okay, I've got clearance. I've got about half a millimeter of clearance. But I'm gonna put one more chunk of tape on there just to be safe. Phone's blowing up. I think my Scotch Brite belts arrived. They're supposed to be coming today. Good thing they are showing up late, because if they would have came earlier, I would have been playing with those instead of filming this. Okay, it's time. That's exactly what I wanted. Before I sharpen the other side, I'm gonna show you guys how the blade looks before we start sharpening. Throw those up.
You got packages. Yeah.
We got 2 packages, 2 investments I made without y'all. Well, I kind of want to open one of them. You know what? Yeah, let's open one of them. Nah, let's not. I gotta be smart. Maybe I'm like, I could use it for YouTube, for a different show. I'm always like anticipating a couple days where I have no knives. That's what's happening when you're a new sharpening business. You're gonna get overwhelmed and then you're gonna have low points. All right, I'll shut up and show you the friggin' knife. Just a regular old edge. Nothing fancy, nothing special. No big chips. This is the first Shun I've seen in a while without a bunch of chips. And this is after one pass with the CVN, electroplated CVN wheel. See one chip right there in the center. See how efficiently this CVN wheel cuts this super steel. Imagine if you got hung up on this. Yeah, you're you're gonna be doing some extra work, I can tell you that much. One of the other reasons I like the Rikon bench grinder, so just so you know, it's one of the only bench grinders on the market with low RPMs. I believe it's variable. I think it's variable speed and low RPM, as low as 1700. It's got a 3/4 horsepower engine, I believe around 4 amps, so it can spin 8-inch wheels. But let me tell you, the difference in price from a 10-inch wheel to an 8-inch wheel will blow your mind. I mean, they're significantly cheaper. Some of them are almost half the price. I see the future of that bench grinder. I think I'm gonna be able to use it for finishing the faces of blades, assuming I don't figure it out with these Scotch-Brite belts first. But definitely rock hard felt wheels or slotted paper wheels for my final finish of the edge. So I'm gonna be over here. I'm gonna get my burr. I'm gonna try to reduce my burr, and I'm gonna use those slotted paper wheels to knock the burr completely off. And I'm gonna go ahead and bring that camera in for a closer look of the grinding process here. It looks really friggin' cool on the CBN wheels. Let me show you. Wow, if it wasn't for that chip, oh, this thing's pretty much done. You know, another thing is that we consider this concept for the show where the audience votes and controls the direction of it. We got to figure out a way to mitigate trolls controlling, like trying to destroy the business, drive it into the ground. Worry about that later. I'm definitely not at a point where I've got any haters or anything like that. But I'm not dumb. I know in time they'll come out from underneath the bridge. I love the sound of grinding on an electroplated CBN wheel. So, like, if science had a sound, this is it. The owner of these knives, super cool guy. I told him $40 for all 4 knives. And he says, that's it? I was like, oh, am I not charging you enough? He was surprised, and yeah, I might be, I'm still learning the market, you know? But I think it's gonna be easier to increase than it's gonna be to decrease, at least from my perspective. I told Mark though, I said, hey, the next time you see me, I'm gonna charge you double. Looks like the heel's gonna need a tad bit more love. All right, this might be the last pass. So I'm like, oh, I remember what I was gonna say earlier. Remember when I forgot? So check this out. This electroplated CBN wheels got me nervous. I'm worried I got ripped off. I'm worried I'm gonna, lose the finish, the CBN, and it's gonna just be 2 pieces of stainless steel. So I'm looking for alternatives. I find a company in Switzerland that does resin bonded 5 millimeters thick of resin bonded CBN. And, you know, some people say that thing's gonna last you 5 years, but it's $1,000, you know? And I'm like, you know what? Get me a 400 or 600 grit. I'd probably get away with 600 just because this stuff's so aggressive. Probably work just fine. That'll be my new my new first step for everything. Reach out to the company, ask them for pricing because they don't display it on their website. They legit said, "You're American. There's tariffs. This is an inopportune time to do business together. Please go find yourself a US manufacturer or electroplated wheel. Good day." Man, I was so offended. No joke, I was pissed. Cause I'm like, why would you assume I'm not willing to pay the 40%? Like, it sucks. But you know what? Like, the value it's gonna add to my shop, I don't freaking care. I don't care. Of course, I don't want to pay it, but anyways, I don't like it when people make assumptions like that. I just don't like it. Oh man, this edge is already so perfect. I'm so happy already. The chip's gone. Let me tell you, cubic boron nitride. That's my new jam. Oh, I'm happy. Just in an update to Mark. I know these knives are precious to him, and when someone has the same passion for knives that I do, I'll bug them with photos. I'll keep them updated and said, "Hey Mark, phase 1, here's your nice, perfect bevel." I just treat them the way I would love to be treated. No one in the world is doing that, you know? But then I got some customers that come in and they're just like, "Yeah, well, just sharpen them. I don't care." You know, you can just tell they need a sharp knife. That's it. They got other priorities in life. I don't bug those people. But when someone shares the same passion for knives and blades that I do, oh, I'm like, I got a new friend, you know? All right. This wheel, identical to the last with one exception. Its grit count is 400 higher. 800, 1200. And I examined everything under the 60 times jeweler's loop. Got a nice little burr from end to end. Oh. Why are we rubbing? We should not be rubbing. There we go. 2 passes each side on this. I know they're the same size, but I'm just gonna double check because I do not have much clearance with that bolster. Yeah. Could fit a couple hairs in there. Oh boy, yeah, that's tight. So this wheel I don't grind on as much as the 800, and it's louder. I can hear the ticks, you know, like tick, 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 which I could hear on the 800 when I first got it, but I can't hear that anymore, leading me to believe like, oh, you know, it's descaling, as the manufacturer says. They said this could do 1,000 blades. That's a very bold statement. I would never, if I was making these, I would tell the marketing team they're out of their goddamn minds making a claim like that. Unless we knew it could do 2,500, then I'd be like, yeah, that's fine. Go ahead and say that. Because we've got the evidence behind us. But make sure you specify. Titanium doesn't count. All right, now that we're wrapping up over here on the Tormic, the next step, I'm gonna strop this with diamond emulsion. And this thing's gonna be razor sharp. Hey, also, if anyone knows off the top of their head what type of stainless Chicago cutlery uses, if you know, could you comment below? It's one company I haven't had the chance to look up yet, and I'm not sure. All right. Tormic grinding phase 1, phase 2 is done. All edge leading, so we have a very small burr. It's super hard steel, so it's a negative burr. Can't see it with your naked eye, but it's there. So we're gonna go ahead and attack it with some diamonds. If this was mass market X50 CRMO V15, I'd be jumping on the ceramic wheel, right? Or ceramic, the chromium oxide leather wheel right now. It's super still, so I'm gonna go diamond. Speaking of ceramic, look what I found today. Smith Knife Sharpening System, 2 9-inch solid ceramic rods. Keyword solid. Sturdy molded plastic base. Built in handguard. Rod storage area. $5. At the beginning of the week, I like to go run by the thrift store and see if they've got any Westoffs or Shuns for a couple bucks that I could take home with me. Today, I wandered into an aisle I never go down, and I saw this, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to take that home. He belongs with me. I don't know that I'll ever use it, but I guess the idea is this would be really good for my customers in between sharpening. I just need to figure out what angle this is. But that's way easier than using the steeling rod. Yeah, that kind of works. This one I think actually Mark put a good burr on it. Yeah, this actually is a good honing method. It works. If they were $5, I would have bought $500 worth and had every customer take one home for $7.50. But I doubt you can find them that cheap. The tag on the back This was thrift store, so thrift store $4.99 on the back, $14.99. Who knows how much they are today? That thing was definitely packaged in the 90s. It's probably 40 bucks. And it's got a hand guard. Come on, it's got a hand guard built in. This is diamond in powder form with a secret homebrew solution. I'll tell you, one element of the homebrew is rubbing alcohol, but I can't tell you the rest of it in case this is the world's greatest formula. Suddenly we're at 21. Oh, I need to zero it back out. Big shout out to Chris Wilson, Ryan Wilson. Thank you so much, my friend. You know what you did. Adding huge value to the sharpening lab here. That's 18 degrees. It's time. Very important knife. We're gonna measure twice. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Program 5. Bolster's rubbing. That sucks. Okay, I'm gonna do everything but that spot for now. I have a respirator in my shopping cart right now. Tanya's buying it for me, so it's not coming out of the business money, which is great. It means we got more money we can buy some more shit more quickly. Tip doesn't feel as good as I wanted it to. Up around the cheek area. I guess this whole thing's a cheek. But I felt a little bit of something up here. This is 5,000 grit diamond. Yeah, the burr's hanging on the tippy tip. Okay. 14,000 grit. This thing used to be paint like beige. Look at that. So all these holes in it from getting cut. Smells like a wet dog too. So if we get that Raycon bench grinder, instead of doing this right here, I'd have the Raycon set up with the same kind of bar system with the slotted paper wheel covered in diamond and just go One time each side, done. Super fast. There she is. Time for the sharpness test. I'm gonna drop her a couple times on my cotton belt here. I'm gonna try to keep it really straight. All that crap off of it. Should cut through a U-line with zero issue. There's a technique to holding this stuff. I'm telling you, there's been times where I have like the sharpest knife I've ever done, and if I'm like not holding the paper right, I think it's the weight on, like once I start cutting, it's so tall, it'll fold, and then that's where you run into the issue. Geez, I almost just cut my knuckle, I wasn't paying attention. Man, I'm gonna need just a giant box of these. I'm going through these so fast. Maybe I should just buy some Bible paper. Might go quicker, last longer. Jeez, you can't even hear it. This thing's nasty. Try that long cut again. Well, there you go, Mark. Be careful, sir. This knife can kill. I don't know if y'all ever watched Forge and Fire. What was that guy's name? Dan Murriato or whatever? Your blade can kill. This can definitely kill. Looks like it's designed to kill Cleons, but yeah, for all you normies out there, definitely kill the wild pig with this bad boy. Jeez, or slice up some Bible paper, whatever you want to do, cigarette paper. Well, guys, I'm really excited for the future of the sharpening business, but not only that, the channel, the YouTube channel, getting you guys involved on helping making the decisions. It looks like right now we got like 12 votes. Everybody's leaning towards the bench grinder, looking like that's the next step. I think I'm gonna leave those up in the future for 48 hours. Maybe we'll do 3 days, I don't know. But for right now, 48 hours. I'm gonna take it down probably sometime tomorrow. And whatever the vote count is, that's what we're doing next. We've got 155 bucks in the bank right now. Add Mark's money, we're at 195 bucks. So a couple more jobs, bench grinder's ours, and we got something to set up. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down and go ahead and start filming the unboxing of this so you guys can watch back to back to back to backs. All right, see ya.